Cool. So I have it on my phone. So let me just go ahead and get started. If you are watching live, say hello so I can see who is on here. It's kind of different when I'm going live from the computer. So if you're on here, say hey so I can see y'all. This computer is crazy. We'll try to minimize it. Ow! I am so sore. Anyway, I'm going to try to get this out and get it done quickly because I know you guys have a life and you have things to do. You might be on lunch break. You might only have a 15-minute break, which really sucks. If you do, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I just want to share some information with you all. So, I have been really getting on myself about controlling my space. Controlling my space. And I got to the point where I do it and I don't feel bad about it. So it's not to be offensive to anyone. It's not to seem like I don't care. It's not to seem like I'm any less loving. None of that. It's nothing about anybody else. This is the thing. It's about you. It's all about you. Like right now, this time in my life, it's about me. And it's all about me. And it's okay to be that way. Not the, you know, sedity, conceited, stuck up, it's all about me. No, I'm not talking about that kind. I'm talking about putting yourself first. And I say this all the time. And if you guys been with me for a while, my water is gone. If you've been watching me for a while or just happen to be friends with me, whatever the case may be, you know that I operate about putting yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, then you're no good to anyone else. If you see me looking down, it's just because I'm trying to record on 2 devices. But putting yourself first, and it's like, what does that mean? And so what it means is that you will be no good to anyone else if you don't take care of you. So I know you want to say, well, my kids come first. But granted, okay, we get that. We put our kids first, high priority. Understand that. But you have to take care of you in order to take care of them. You cannot take care of your kids properly and function properly if you can't take care of you. So again, you want to be there for bae, you want to be there for poo-poo, you want to be a great best friend, you want to be a great sister, you want to be a great auntie. You want to be great in all these areas, but you have to get your greatness in line and in order first and foremost. Let's just start there. So I'm going to show you guys a demonstration because I love demonstrations. Y'all can see me. A plate. So I titled this Control Your Circle. And literally that's what I mean. So if you want to think about a circle, we think about it's round. We think about if you a school had, pi was 3.14, which was the circumference of the circle. You think about your diameter, your area, your people, however you want to say it. They say nobody else getting in my circle. All of those little phrases we hear people say talking about our circle. Well, I'm going to show you in reference to a plate. Perfect circle. Now, I'm going to show you 3 different examples. Here we have this one. This is a 6-inch plate. Here we have a handy dandy paper plate. And here we have a larger 10-inch plate. Okay. So I'm going to start with these two. I'm going to start with the paper plate and the glass plate. And I have some things written out to show you guys the example of what it is that we're talking about as far as controlling your circle. A lot of times I hear people, I don't want to say complain, or they complain, they vent, they come to me and they tell me like, look, I'm just overwhelmed. This is going on, that is going on, all the things that's affecting them. And I listen. And at the end, when we're done talking, because I want you to vent, because I want you to get it out. So when we're done with that process, I start with a clean slate. That sucks. I'm going to record the video then if the live is breaking up. You start with a clean slate. That's why I bagged up and showed this video. So I'll record it. I'm sorry, Tori. So sorry. I'll upload the video. So now I got to do this under 10 minutes so I can be able to upload it to Facebook. So here's the plate, right? You control whatever it is. This is the empty plate. Whatever it is that you want to put on here, you control it. So guess what? Every day you wake up, you get a new start. You get a fresh 24 to make something happen, to do something different. Whatever happened yesterday, it don't matter. Get over it. Let it go. We're moving forward. Here's an example of my plate, right? This particular plate is glass. This is a foundation. This plate is temporary. Glass, foundation, paper plate, temporary. After we eat, we throw this away. After we eat, we clean this and we start off new for our next meal. Get it? Glass, long term, short term, foundation, temporary fix. So you want to make sure that you are putting things on your plate that are important to you, that are beneficial to you, important to you and beneficial to you. So here's an example of mine. The center of my plate, we have God, and around me controlling this part of my circle, I have my physical health, my mental health, and my spiritual health. That's my core. If this is out of order, my circle crumbles from the inside out. So that I want to try to show you. I think I'm going to stop the live and just upload the video so I can just focus over here. That's what I'm going to do. So this is an example of my foundation. This is my foundation. So in the center, my core, I have God. I have my spiritual health, my mental health, and my spiritual health. That is my foundation. Outside of that, on my next level comes my family. Right opposite that goes along with that are my friends, because the friends that I have in my life are like my family. So I have my family and my friends are next. Right outside of that, equally as important, next important, is my business. And these are all the other things surrounding that next funnel that I'm creating. So this affects this. This affects this. It goes in a chain reaction. If you have junk on your plate, that's when you have chaos. That's when you have depression. That's when you have anxiety. That's when you have anger. That's when you have bitterness. Then you have happiness, because you all out of whack, because the things that are on your plate, they don't go together. It's like mixing oil and water. That's why a lot of people that struggle with mental health is because they fight in themselves. When I say mental health, I'm talking about in terms of just yourself. So I mean that you can't make a sound decision because you fighting to do what you think that you should do because it seems like a better option, but you know it's not the right thing to do. That makes sense? So, for example, like, you know what? I need a little extra money. I'm going to go strip at the strip club tonight because that's what's going to work. I'm going to get a little extra money. It sounds like a good idea because the end result is finances. But morally, I'm fighting myself because that's not really what I want to do. That's what I'm saying. Like, you fighting yourself with your decisions. It doesn't go with your core. How I'm going stripping after I'm trying to get my holy space together. To each his own. Anyway. So, I have purpose on the side of business. I have networking. I have Dallas and home. I have on the other side, really small, Chicago and family. These work in opposite relationships for me. Now, Dallas and home is larger because I know that I need to work on building my home in Dallas. I need to not go to Chicago as often as I have been in the past, and that's something that I'm working on. So my Dallas home in this season is more important to me. Again, your plate can change. Your appetite can change. But your core values shouldn't change. They shouldn't. Those are your like non-negotiables. You rock hard, sold on it. You don't need to be moved or wavered. Those are those kind of things. This center core, your core should not change. Now, all the other things around it, you can move them around a bit. You can add in a couple of temporary things that you might have to take out. But that center, this is your foundation. So, did I get everything? Okay, of course, y'all see my I Love Sugar Scrubs, my business. What's this? Really, really small I got here, hang out. I don't do too much hanging out. This is one of those things that long term, I want to kind of, when I get everything else in order, then this is like one of those small things that I'm going to add in on my plate. But right now, it's like non-existent. I'll try to hang out with the hubby here and there, hang out with my family, with my immediate family in my household. But other than that, I really don't have the time to right now, because I'm so focused on getting all of these things orbiting in the right direction. So, long term, temporary. So these are things that the paper plate, you can use this and take an example of your short-term goals. So let me just use this. So let's just say one of the things that I'm doing that's short-term. I done lost the marker. I'm going to just put some short-term goals on here. So I'm currently in a 60-day challenge, me, myself, personally. And the challenge part, doing it in a group, this is short term. When the challenge is over, I don't have to communicate with these certain individuals anymore. I don't have to check in with a trainer anymore. Health, wellness, physical, spiritual is still part of my core, but this portion of it is temporary. So I'm in the 60-day challenge, which is temporary. So you might just say weight loss. What's temporary? You might be house hunting. That's temporary, because once you find your house, you at home. You might be looking for a new job. That's temporary. I'm writing so sloppy, y'all. I'm just trying to give you an example. A new job. What's something else? You might want to socialize with new friends. So you might be trying to do that. You might be dieting. Yeah, you might be dieting. Whatever those little temporary things are, it goes on here. That means it's short term. It's not forever. Something that you're not doing forever. But it gets you, it's a part of your goal. It's a process. It's a step in the process of your goal and your journey. So it gets you to the next step. So that's what I mean by temporary. Mean it goes away after a while. So I just want to remind you guys that every day, every day, you get the chance to start off with a fresh plate. It's up to you to sit down and figure out what your core values are. It's up to you to sit down and sit down with your mate and say, here, this is something I want to try, babe. Just go in, slowly. We're trying to have order in your life. I promise you, when you have order in your life, it's so much simpler. You're not sitting here assuming that, someone assumes the journey that you're on. You can't assume that they know what's important to you, because things change. Because we had this temporary idea at first as a family, but now I want to add some of these things to our foundation. So we got to change up so that in the long run, when that big plate, it all comes together. Boom, boom, boom. It all comes together. So you might have to start off with the temporary. And with that, when you're building, you have to think about creating boundaries. So the definitions of circumference, when we're talking about pi 3.14, when we talk about the circumference of a circle, it's about boundaries. So 3.14 is the boundary created in reference to a circle. So you create that and don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about having boundaries. Also, you have to be diligent. You have to be diligent. You have to be careful and persistent in your efforts. So that means that you can't slack. You can't say that this is something that's long term. This is a core value, but it only is a part of my life sometimes. That's not a core value. That's temporary. So when you're trying to build your core up, you have to be diligent. You have to be purposeful. You have to have determination. You have to be self-motivated. And the other thing that I have on here is health. And the definition that I got of health was the state of being free from illness or injury. The state of being free from illness and injury. Health should be one of your core values, because you cannot put others, you can't be helpful to others if you don't take care of your health. So that's physical, that's mental, that's emotional, and that's spiritual. When you get those things in alignment, you will see that you will feel better. And then you'll be able to operate and, rearrange things in your life. You'll be able to be there for people at a time when you wasn't able to be there for them before because you were not healthy. You get that? You wasn't healthy. You wasn't intact mentally. You wasn't intact emotionally. You wasn't intact spiritually or physically. So when you get all those things in order, then you have extra, you have energy, you have joy, you can be there for your friend, you can I'm stuttering, you can congratulate your friend, you can be that person that you are on the inside. But when your health is, you cannot, because you have nothing else to give. So just remember, every day you decide what you want to put on your plate. You want to sit down and create core values. You want to sit down and make short-term goals and understand that those things are temporary, and understand that that person that you're in a partnership with, whether you have an accountability partner, whether it's your boyfriend or whatever, mom, you want to make sure that you express this to them so they know. Because don't assume that all of a sudden when you're trying to do something positive that they're going to know. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know why you over here writing on a paper plate. They don't know. So you have to express to them, like, this is what I want to do. I would love your support. So they can